If your social media is looking great, but your bank account is not, then this video is for you. You're posting daily as a web designer. The likes are nice, right? It's like a warm hug to your bruised ego, right? But the DMs are busy. And yet, revenue stays flat. In this video, my friend, we'll fix the gap between followers and invoices. Let's go. Hello my friend, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Adrian Somoza. I'm a former lead designer at MediaMonks turned full-time business owner, and I focus on helping freelance web designers grow their businesses to a financially peaceful and creatively challenging career or business. If you're sick and tired of watching YouTube videos, maybe you've been following me for some months already, and you want someone to mentor you through this process along with a step-by-step online course and a community that supports you in your journey, then it might be time to join the BONT Club. Book a one-to-one strategy call with me where we'll map out the strategy that you need to take and see if the BONT Club is a good fit for you. Link is going to be below. Here are some myths that I want to bust before we dive in, okay? Myth number one is followers equal clients. The truth is that followers are only attention, but a funnel is a guided path from attention to call to contract, okay? So if you don't have that funnel set up, and sometimes, we think it is clear, right, what the funnel is, but you're pointing people to your website and they have to go through all the content in your website to find the CTA to book a call with you, okay? So there's a big problem there. There's a lot of friction, there's a lot of information to consume, right, before they get to the CTA. So you want to remove that friction and you want to make it super clear what the funnel is, right? So take them through the funnel very clearly, step by step, but we're going to talk about more later on. And myth number two is you need a big audience to sell high tickets, okay? So the truth here is that you need the right message to the right buyer at the right stage, okay? A profitable business only needs 1 to 2 high ticket clients per month, right? As a web designer, you can probably deliver the website in around a month, if not in less, ideally, right? If you're not working with like huge websites, and then you only need 1 or 2 a month, right? At 5 to 10K each to be financially peaceful. That's what most people need and would be the sweet spot for most designers out there, right? And that means you only need to be visible for the right 10 to 20 people per month. Okay, 10 to 20 leads a month in your calendar that you're talking with can convert into 1 or 2 clients with a 10% conversion rate. Bear in mind that, to have a high ticket offer and close high ticket deals, normally you need the conversion rate should be between 10 and 30%. If it is much higher than that, you need to ramp up your prices, my friend, and you might want to watch the previous video I posted about that. Myth number 3, you need to act like a content creator to grow your business. It couldn't be further from the truth. As a business owner, you're not a content creator. Your primary metric is not views or likes, it is qualified conversations. It is sales calls, it is revenue. Okay, so views have nothing to do with it. You cannot imagine how many people I've talked with that have gotten viral posts. They went viral on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and other places, and they are still struggling to get good quality leads. You know why? Because usually when you're aiming at high views, you're aiming at unqualified low ticket clients or leads. When you're aiming at low views, you're aiming at a very specific point in the journey, pain point, or challenge that client very specifically has, and that means higher ticket clients, lower volume of views. So it's counterintuitive, right? But we think we need to, go viral and do whatever it takes, dance on TikTok just to be, profitable in a business, right? So further, it couldn't be further from the truth. You don't need followers, views, or likes. That's vanity metrics that have nothing to do with a business. That's only for content creators. And myth number 4 is that the algorithm decides your income. Okay, again, that's for content creators. If your business depends on being paid by the views, then of course the algorithm is who decides your income, and you need to really ramp up your views to millions if you want to have a profitable business. Let's talk about common mistakes, okay? Common mistakes is talking to beginners while pricing like a specialist, okay? If you talk in your comments, in your posts, in your stories, in your content, you're talking to beginner level business owners, right? Small businesses, people who are DIYing their websites. You're giving them, hard skill tactics and tips. Then don't expect to be able to charge like a specialist, okay? Another common mistake is tips with no offer narrative, right? No offer, no CTA, right? Buyers cannot follow the path because they watched the video, they ended, there was no CTA, they just scrolled. So in every piece of content that you create, that you're talking to your ideal client, there should be a clear call to action and a very simple funnel. DM me or comment this and I'll send you a link to book a call, right? Not a link to the website. Don't add too many steps, okay? But we're gonna get there. And then vague niche. That's the third common mistake. I help anyone with websites. That won't work, right? You need to have a clear audience that you talk to. It might mean low views, but you will get higher quality leads, okay? Now, if you want a proven path with coaching and a community, remember that you can book a one-to-one strategy call with me. I'd love to help you with this, setting up social media so that it works for you, right? And it yields good results. And so that you can avoid these common mistakes and you have a guided path towards getting high-ticket clients in social media. So link is going to be below. Now, let's talk about the how-to, okay? Let's map the buying journey of your clients. Think about your best 5 to 10K plus clients and try to identify what was true when they hired you, right? The stage of the business, offer clarity, the revenue that they were making, the urgency, the team size, right? Those are all hints as to where is, the point in the journey of your client where they are ready to work with you and pay you high ticket prices. Think about the mindset and the language as well, like what they believed in, right? What were their values, their mindset, right? The better the mindset, the better the revenue in the business they have, right? So watch their language, watch their mindset, what they complained about, what were their challenges, what were their pain points, what keeps them up at night, right? And what are their desires, their goals, what are their KPIs, right? What's the impact that your website is going to do for them, right? How are you going to move the needle in their businesses? And then you design content for each stage, okay? Top of the funnel, middle, and bottom. Top of the funnel is cold and curious, basically beginner stage business owners in your niche, okay? They are probably DIYing their website. They are just, trying out for the first time having a website. And so they are not really ready to hire an expert. They probably don't have the revenue, right? I can put myself as an example. When I started my business 6 years ago or 7 years ago, I started with a template. Even though I was a web designer, I didn't even take the time to pay someone or to build myself a good website. Why? Because it didn't make sense for me. I was just, doing $100 a month or $500 a month. And so I wasn't really profitable enough so that it would make sense for me to do like a custom design. So that's TOEFL, top of the funnel. Middle of the funnel is problem aware but not ready to hire. So let's say me, I don't know, like 2 years into the business, right? Or 3 years into the business, I was problem aware that, templates, the template that I had for 3 years was, wasn't really representing me as well. And I wanted to charge higher prices. And so what did I do? I actually DIY'd my own website, right? So that's middle of the funnel. They are kind of, they know there's a problem. I know I have limitations, by the way. Don't try to sell me a website, but I know I have limitations in terms of, how premium I can build the website. I can design it really well, but I'm not a, framer expert or Webflow expert. Again, don't try to comment or email me with your services. I'm not interested now. But I could be middle of the funnel because I am problem aware, but I'm not ready to hire, okay? And so when you have someone that's middle of the funnel, you can talk to them in that middle of the funnel process and start attracting clients in that middle of the funnel process. But you need to know what are the pain points, what are they thinking, right? What's their mindset? What's the journey that they have gone through from TOEFL to MOFL, so that you know how to talk to them in your content. And then bottom of the funnel is basically problem aware and in pain and urgency, okay? They are ready to buy from you right now. They are ready to hire you. And so you also need to be very clear what's that point in their journey so that you can speak to them, right? And attract those type of leads. And bear this in mind again, right? Top of the funnel will have high volume, high views, high likes. It will get you a lot of followers, but it will be like random leads, right? It won't get you quality leads. But they are important because they will create the volume in your pipeline so that they can convert into eventually high ticket clients down the line. But if they know you, when they were TOEFL, right? When they were just starting out their business, 3 years later, 5 years later, they might be ready to hire you at a high ticket price, okay? Middle of the funnel is gonna be lower views, and bottom of the funnel is gonna be really low views, but really high quality level leads, okay? Now, what you wanna do is basically define your high ticket buyer, right? One industry, one offer, one social media platform, and one CTA, which would be book a call with me, basically. And then you want to list 5 pains they already feel and 5 outcomes that they want. And then you can draft 1 TOEFL post, 1 MOFL post, 1 BOFL post for next week, for example, and you can start building a system where you talk to the 3 type of clients in the 3 places in their journey. And basically, in this case, in terms of the type of content, ideally you want to show yourself. But if you're just very shy, let's say you're timid, just show your work, okay? And bear in mind, you don't have to dance on TikTok. You don't have to do weird things to get the attention of people. You can just show your work and talk to a TOEFL client, and then show your work and then talk to a MOFL client, okay, in the description, the caption. Depends on the social media, right? But let's say Instagram, for example. And then BOFL, you can, again, show your work, but talk to a very specific pain point that your client has. So I would actually recommend, most of the times, you just want to show your work in the content, in the visual part of things. Now, from time to time, if you dare, I challenge you and I encourage you to get comfortable being uncomfortable in front of the camera and showing yourself, because that's, it's night and day in terms of, building trust with your prospects, okay? Now, if you keep doing that every week consistently for a year, you will definitely see results. Your message will start resonating with your audience, making them feel seen and wanting to work with you. The lead quality will rise. You will get fewer calls, higher closure rates, and you will be able to raise your prices. Bear in mind, this is not mathematical. Like, it's not like if you post a BOFU piece of content, you will only get hot leads. No, it's going to be a little bit all over the place, right? For each of the types of content. So it's not mathematical, but you want to maintain the cadence of TOFU, MOFU, BOFU so that you're bringing in consistently from the 3 places in the journey of your clients, okay? Social media is like having a garden, by the way. Your service is a seed, and each social media post is like watering the seed so it can grow, okay? So first off, don't drown the seed, right? So don't post, 1 million posts in 1 month and then, disappear, but also don't let it dry. So you want to water it regularly by posting regularly. Why? There's a lot of reasons, but 3 from the top of my mind. Number 1, it's called brand presence, right? When you are posting regularly, you're in your mind, in your prospect's mind consistently. And that means that when they get into trouble, when they get into pain, right? When they have the urgency, who is the first person that they're going to think about? Most likely it's going to be you. Why? Because they see you over and over again. They like your content, they trust you, and basically, you've been there. You've been there for them. Now, number 2 is because you build trust. Like I said, if you're consistent, you build trust with your clients by regularly letting them consume your content and seeing your trajectory and how you're consistent, you're disciplined, and you're focused on helping clients like them, right? And so that builds trust, and trust is the main currency to sell. And number 3, I can't think of number 3, but anyways, I think 2 is enough, right? So basically, my bottom line here is stay consistent. It's not about drowning the seed with 1,000 posts and then disappearing. It's about staying consistent, and it's a marathon, not a race, okay? So remember that if you're stuck with this process and you really need help and you want someone to take a look at your social media accounts, help you set up this TOFU, MOFU, BOFU funnel and really start getting clients consistently, then book a call with me. I'd love to help you, and maybe you're fit to join the BONT Club, who knows? And yeah, that's it for today. Hope you found it valuable, my friend. And as always, let's bridge the gap 1 pixel at a time.